Hello, I'm Urs Barkley, VP Marketing and Business Development for Paramount Technologies. Paramount Technologies develops solutions for spend management and workflow automation. This video is a brief introduction to spend management. So, what is spend management and why does it matter? Organizations often use document management systems to scan accounts payable invoices and route them through the approval process. That at least ensures that invoices are not lost or held up because an approver is out of the office. But approval processes for disbursements are a bit like closing the barn door after the horses are out. Realistically, how often is an invoice rejected when goods have been delivered, services were rendered, or an expense report rejected after the employee has completed a trip? An invoice or expense report usually reflects a commitment made long before the invoice arrives in the mailroom. Spend management moves the review and approval to the requisition or travel request stage before commitments are made to vendors or employees. Let's look at the dictionary definition of spend management. Dictionaries define spend management as the way in which companies control and optimize the money they spend. It involves cutting operating and other costs associated with doing business. Organizations can increase the bottom line by growing revenue and margin, but that may be a challenge in a difficult business climate, or by reducing cost. Unfortunately, the go-to strategy is often a downsizing and layoffs. We believe that there is a better way, intelligent spend management, to optimize the funds you have and maximize the results of your spending. Note that only one of the 4 areas of spend management is process efficiency. The other 3 areas relate to cutting unnecessary expenditures. The goal of spend management is to reduce maverick purchases and increase economies of scale by combining requisitions into purchases for higher quantities. Procurement efficiency is managing vendor contracts to reduce the number of vendors, negotiate better terms and conditions, and then manage the commitments made to the vendor. The Aberdeen Group's research on procurement initiatives quantifies the results of spend management and procurement automation. Cost reductions are achieved when a higher share of the company's overall spending is actively managed. Maverick, meaning off-contract, purchases are cut, and administrative costs are reduced by minimizing cycle time and overhead. So, if spend management through accounts payable is too late, how and where do you control expenditures? The basic requirement for a spend management solution is an effective requisition tool. This is where a user identifies a need, selects a product or service, usually from an approved catalog or vendor, and submits the requisition for approval. Requisitions for consumable stock should be integrated with inventories to automatically replenish minimum stock levels and to fulfill requisitions from existing stocks, avoiding excess purchases. A purchasing solution turns approved requisitions into orders for the selected vendors with optimal quantities and items. Invoice automation applications make sure that the goods or services received match the quantities and terms of the purchase order. A travel request is a special requisition to request approval for a future expense report. For the expense report, the traveler simply calls up the travel request to enter the actual expenses incurred. This gives the approver clear visibility to approved and actual expenses before authorizing the reimbursement. Vendor contract applications manage the selection of vendors, record contracts, and monitor commitments made to the vendor. Finally, good spend management needs a budget for a general ledger account or organization and/or a project accounting tool with budgets and profitability tracking for the project. All these applications require customizable routing and approval processes designed to enforce the company's spending and travel policies, but without being overly complicated or cumbersome. Approval rules are typically based on the type of expenditure, the amount, department, or project. The approver needs to see the status of a budget or project to make an informed decision. Since paper-based systems often result in delays and lost paperwork, you need to be able to see the status of a requisition at any time. Get email notifications to remind you of pending requests or to advise you that a request was approved. With email and mobile applications, you can enter expenses or approve transactions anytime, anywhere. You don't have to wait until you get back to the office. Finally, good spend management tools have to reflect corporate policy. Examples will be preferred vendors, approved products or services, and company travel policies. Travel policies can enforce transportation choices, daily allowances, and ensure that information required by the IRS is properly documented. Thank you for watching our introduction to spend management. For more information or to see a demo, please contact us at sales@Paramount Technologies or toll-free 800-725-4408. Thank you.